friends, Miss Thomas here. Today I am going to be reading Chapter 17 of Cleo Edison Oliver Playground Millionaire. Chapter 17, Some Fortunate Advice. Hi Cleo, Kaylee had called her. So, will you be at school tomorrow? Cleo sat on her bed, refolding the baby clothes from her birth mom so she could put them away properly. I think so. What did Principal Yu say? He said I had to go home. Silence. Finally, Kaylee spoke. I've never seen you like that. Me neither. It kind of freaked me out. Me too. I'm sorry I didn't come over. I mean, after Mr. Boring stopped you. It was just, well, I was sort of... It doesn't matter. Hey, guess what? I've got another business idea. Cleo had a sense she should be asking Kaylee about her more bad news, and she would, just as soon as she told her about Cleo's canine cookies. Trademark. She told her about the trash can incident and her happy discovery that Barkley's breath smelled good after eating a bunch of the cookies. I was wondering if you'd take some shots of Barkley for the label. He's going to be the face of Cleo's canine cookies and related products, and you're a way better photographer than me. My pictures always turn out blurry or off-center, but not in a cool, artistic way like yours. Or the subjects look like zombies from Planet Doofus. Your shots always look inspired, like pieces of art. Plus, you've got that nice new camera. Kaylee sighed. Please, Jelly. Please, pretty please with a gummy pizza on top? Okay. Great. Can we do it this afternoon? How about after Fortune? Ask your mom if you can come over and watch it with me. We'll take the pictures after that. Then you can eat dinner with us. She was on a roll. These dog cookies are going to be a huge hit, Kaylee. I can feel it. This isn't a little tooth pulling operation or selling fruit from our trees. This is going to be a real business with real profits. More silence, longer this time. Kaylee looked at the phone, then put it back to her ear. Are you still there? Is that all you talk about? Kaylee suddenly sounded mad. What had she done wrong? What? Business, money. All you ever talk about are your businesses and how to make more money. Not everyone is into money like you are, you know. I'm not into money like you are. I thought you liked my ideas. You said you wanted to be my COO. Money isn't everything, Cleo. It doesn't make all your problems go away, and it can't make up for a person not being there. Click. Kaylee? Had Kaylee just hung up on her? Cleo stared at the phone, waiting for her friend to call back, and when she didn't, trying to figure out if she should call her. Okay, so money wasn't everything. She knew that, but it was still something. People needed money to live, to go to the doctor, to buy things for their kids. She looked at the little outfit on her lap. She traced a butterfly with her finger. It can't make up for a person not being there. Oh no. They were coming, and there was nothing she could do to stop them. Tears. Hot, stinging, horrible tears. She buried her face in the tiny baby clothes and bawled. Cleo went downstairs when it was time for Fortune. Mom and Dad were talking in the family room. She could hear Josh and Jay playing outside with Barkley. She appeared in the doorway and her parents looked up. Everything okay? Mom's eyes narrowed in concern. Cleo didn't want to talk about her best friend hanging up on her, or any of the feelings that had come with it. She would call Kaylee back later, maybe after Fortune. Would it be all right if I watched my show? She wasn't sure if she was banished from TV after all the trouble she had been getting into. How about we watch it together, Dad said. Cleo broke into a smile. Dad never watched with her. Usually he wasn't home, but he also said it was too cheesy for him. Dad clicked the remote and the TV flickered to life. A commercial was on. He muted the sound. She sat between her parents on the couch. Mom wrapped an arm around her shoulders and kissed her braided hair. Did you know your dad and I consider ourselves to be the two richest people on the planet? Cleo looked back and forth between them. She shook her head. Of course we do, because we have you and your brothers. Josh and JJ appeared at the windows, as if they'd heard Mom talking about them. They made goofy expressions, their faces plastered to the glass. Cleo and her parents laughed and made faces back. The boys ran off, chasing Barkley. Your birth mom didn't give you away, Cleo, Dad said. She gave you to us. And what a gift. Mom squeezed Cleo. What a gift. Cleo felt like a gift, all wrapped up in her parents' arms, and yet the question still tugged at her heart. Why didn't my mom keep me? At least her parents had kept her name. That was something else she had from her birth mom. I told Mr. Boring my birth mom named me Cleopatra, and he said I'll always be a queen in her eyes. Mr. Boring sounds like a smart man. Do you know what Cleopatra means? Cleo asked, thinking about Anusha's beautiful morning star. As a matter of fact, I do, Dad said. It means glory of the Father. Cleo pondered the phrase, glory. It made her think of those flowers, morning glories. She loved those. She wasn't exactly sure what glory was, but it was definitely something good. And what about Lenore? Her parents had given her that part of her name after Grand Eleanor, who had been named after a president's wife. Light, Mom said. That was nice too. Glory Light. She'd keep Edison for now, though. She wouldn't have named me Cleopatra if she thought I wasn't worth anything. Mom's chin moved back and forth on top of Cleo's head. No, she wouldn't have. Do you think she thinks about me? Cleo whispered. All the time, Mom said. I think about her too. Not all the time, but a lot. Her parents were quiet. Was it okay that she had said that? Of course you would, Dad said. It's normal to wonder about where we come from. Do you think... Cleo wasn't sure about this next part. Did she really want to do what she was about to ask? Fortune's face appeared. Dad, the sound! Dad pointed the remote and Fortune's theme music bopped into the room. Clips from past shows zoomed across the screen. Fortune laughing with singer superstar Magdalena. Fortune putting her arm around an audience member. Fortune hugging a girl in a wheelchair, talking into a microphone, blowing a kiss to the camera. Cleo reached up, grabbed the kiss, and slapped it onto her cheek, as always. Like always. The camera panned the studio audience, then focused on Fortune, who wrapped her arms around herself as if the crowd's applause were a big hug. She wore a purple blazer speckled with white, as if she had been dusted with powdered sugar. Her string of giant pearls matched her perfectly straight white teeth. Her shiny black hair was shellacked into place, and as always, she glowed. Hello, everyone! Thank you for being here. Thank you for being. I will never forget the day I discovered my purpose. To finance futures and deliver destinies. We all have a reason for being, so find your reason and... She held her hands out to everyone. Live it! Cleo shouted with the audience. She glanced at Mom, and they exchanged big smiles. Fortune loved to talk about people's reason for being. At least once every show, it seemed she'd say something about purpose or passion or destiny. You know you have a purpose, right? She looked out at the audience, and everyone shouted, Yes! She said it again into the camera. Do you know you have a purpose, right? Yes! Cleo shouted. Dad's eyebrows arched in surprise. To be a high-climbing, heights-defying, limit-pushing entrepreneur. To start a business. That was her purpose. Maybe one day she'd even do what Fortune had done and build schools in Africa. Not just schools, homes. Yes, she would build homes for kids who didn't have them, because every child needed somewhere to belong. When we come back, I'm going to introduce you to one determined young woman who refused to miss her calling. She followed her dream, and thousands of children who otherwise would have ended up lost in the system are thriving today because of it. Her guests that afternoon included a woman who had started a ranch for troubled kids where they learned how to ride and take care of horses, a singer who had just recorded her first album, thanks to funding from Fortune, and a stay-at-home mom who had invented a line of natural bath and beauty products that she had sent to Fortune to try, and that Fortune was now going to carry in all of her spas. Fortune went on and on about how she was using the products herself, especially the bubble baths. There's nothing like a good bubble bath when I need to drain away the stress of the day or I'm searching for a new idea. I get some of my best ideas in the bathtub. Me too, Cleo said, feeling as if she and Fortune were chatting face to face. With Marina's Verbena Spearmint Bubble Bath, so can you. So stay right where you are, and you're not going to want to miss a second of this show. Hey babe, Dad said during the commercial. You should send Fortune some of your longevity lollipops. I thought they were pretty tasty. Cleo said. I'm not sure that's a good idea. What? Dad said. You sent her a letter? You can't choke on a letter. Those things almost killed me. She and Dad laughed. Hey, Mom tweaked Cleo's arm. Don't worry. I'm not going to embarrass you by sending your idol a bunch of birdseed on sticks. It was a really good show, as usual, even though Dad had to leave halfway through to referee a fight between the boys and stayed outside to play with them. Too quickly, Fortune was interviewing her last guest. Marina, the bubble bath lady, had just shared about starting up her business and how listening to her customers had been super important in improving her product line. What you just said, girl, that's gold. Fortune reached out and put her hand on the woman's arm. Pure gold. She turned and looked at the audience. We have to listen to each other. Listening is the key to doing good business, because unless you're listening to people, you won't know what they need, want, or will buy. But it's also how you make and keep your friends. She was looking straight at the camera again, straight at Cleo. If I've learned anything, it is this. Whatever you do, listen. Listen to your customers and listen to your friends. Your friends are your most valuable assets. Because while businesses come and go, your friends, if you treat them right, will be by your side through the ups and downs. And believe me, my friends, if you're in business, there will be ups and downs. She held up a sample of Marina's bubble bath, a set of 3 bottles standing in a silver wire rack you could attach to the wall of your tub or shower. Everyone in the audience was going to get one. Compliments of Fortune. People cheered and applauded. She started to say thank yous to all of her guests and to her audience and to everyone watching, her television family. But Cleo was no longer paying attention to the show. All she could think about was Kaylee, her friend. Fortune had said, whatever you do, listen to your friends. Cleo had been so focused on her businesses and succeeding, she hadn't been treating Kaylee as her most valuable asset. She hadn't been listening. It was time to do something about that. Thank you, Fortune. Thank you guys for joining me. I'll see you next time for the last chapter, Chapter 18.